Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm your host Pete, and today we're in the shop going to be doing some upgrades to my downhill bike. The Giant Glory has been getting a lot of love over the last year, and the one thing that hasn't been upgraded on there is the drivetrain. So today we're going to go ahead and switch out the shifting on there and put some modern components on there. I did upgrade it one time to a Shimano XTR non-speed drivetrain, but it's not a shadow system, so the chain flaps around a bunch and smacks the chainstay, and I can feel it hitting my leg, the chain flopping around. So we're going to go ahead and pull that off there and upgrade the shifting to Shimano Zee. We've got a Zee shifter and Zee derailleur we're going to put on there, a Shimano Derailleur cassette, and we're going to upgrade to a nice 10-speed chain as well. That'll keep my chain from flapping around and make my bike look just a little bit cooler and modern. So come along and check out these upgrades. Here are the components we're going to be putting on the bike today. We have a Shimano Zee shifter and a Shimano Zee rear derailleur. Here is that beautiful Zee derailleur in its tiny little glory. And the little Zee shifter, going to do all the shifting we need and be stiff. Also pairing that with a Shimano Derailleur cassette to save some weight. So as you can see, the Giant Glory is kind of dirty, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a bath because nobody likes working on a dirty bike and it just makes things cruddy. So we'll get it cleaned up and get it tuned up. Let's do this. Alright, so since we are working with the downhill bike, it's a little dirty. I'm going to go ahead and get it cleaned off, use some muck off, get this thing washed up. I'm not going to spend too much time on the parts I'm going to replace, but just get this thing a little cleaner. Oops, watch out for that. Just a little bit of scrubbing will save yourself a lot of maintenance with pressure washing will cause. As you will notice, I'm not going to use a pressure washer while I wash this downhill bike. We're just going to get it nice and clean, scrubbed up. Okay, so now that we got it wiped down, go ahead and get this thing rinsed off. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the derailleur. Clink. Oh, get that in there. Go ahead. And right here. Break the chain. Chain is off. Derailleur's off. And you'll notice this little tab here on the derailleur is bent. This old XTR was brand new when I put it on there, just a couple of rides, and it's already failing. Got the derailleur off and the chains. Go ahead and get the wheel off. Using a chain whip, a cassette lock ring tool, and a large open-end wrench, I'm going to break the cassette free. Go ahead and open up the lock ring. Since we have that off, I'm going to go ahead and clean around there. And now that we've got cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and install this Derailleur cassette on there. Go ahead and find my key way there. Little sprocket washer on. There we go. So once again, this upgrade is really going to help save some weight since the Derailleur cassette is so light. The upper cassette teeth are titanium. That's going to save a bit of weight in itself over that basic cassette that we had on there. I think it was like a SRAM X5 or something like that. Oh, drop one. One more. Snug that up. They don't need to be super tight. There we go. Now here's one of the nice things. Now that we have lock-on grips, this part becomes really easy. You just unscrew the grips. Slides right off. Open up that. And this is where it becomes complicated because it's not easy. So you gotta take your bolt all the way free. And on these Shimano levers, you need to push in the little safety retainer pin so that will open up. Bolt fell out. So we got that done. Just go ahead and slide this off of here. Oh yeah. Bling. Slide that on. Push this button in here. That button. Open that up. Flip that around. And then we'll wait a minute to set the final position for that. Slide the grip back on. All the way in. Rotate it back to the right position. Torque the grip into place. Grip's nice and tight. Brake lever is about the same angle as the other one. And the shifter is set. Right there. So now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a tri-flow here and go ahead, pop the tip off that, freshen this up a little bit, with a little bit of lube down in there. It's supposed to all happen way cleaner and smoother. So I take this bottle, just insert it right here, give it a little squirt. Stuff works wonders. So we'll freshen up that old cable housing. We're going to do this the easy way. Since we've already got lube down in there, we don't need to waste time lubing this cable. I'm just going to go ahead and run this in through here until it comes out the back side. Pull that right into place. Bam! Alright, now that we get the wheel back in the bike, we're going to go ahead and set our low stop and high stop. So we unscrew the high stop until the derailleur comes directly underneath here. We're going to push it in mechanically with our hand. Just activate that spring and then loosen the low stop until the derailleur lines up all the way underneath that pulley wheel. So now that we have our high and our low set, I'm going to go ahead and break the linkage here, because when we set the chain length, we want to be able to make sure that the shock is fully compressed and we have full stroke available to us in the travel there. We don't want to limit the chain from keeping the suspension to be able to move all the way there. So we want to make sure we have enough chain in there that the bike can fully extend. We use 13 cone wrench to support the bolt. Move the nut while we take the bolt out. Just drop it on the floor just like that. Professional. So as you can see, we've got the hardware out and the bike is fully clapped out. This is where we're going to go ahead and set the chain length to make sure that the bike can fully compress without snapping off this guy. Alright, so now that we have the shock disconnected and the frame is fully compressed, I'm going to go ahead and put the chain on the largest chain ring in the rear and then roll it through all of the pulley wheels and reconnect it over top of itself to see how long it actually needs to be. We want the chain to be taut in this position. That way we have full travel and we don't have to worry about the chain getting stuck or binding when the bike is trying to compress. Alright, so we're just going to reroute the shifter cable here, run that through there, make sure it's fully inserted. We've already set our high and our low and our B. Open that, run the shifter cable through. What I like to do is go ahead and add just a little extra tension to the cable by pushing the derailleur a little further in when I clamp it, and that's going to help us weed out this cable stretch. We're going to have a little bit of cable stretch. So now, that bolt's tight, twist that back, see how it shifts on the first try. Too much cable tension. Now we're all Z'd up. Boo! Boo! This is awesome. So I've got another upgrade plan for this bike and then we're pretty much done with it. I'm going to replace the cranks on here, so come back for the next episode of Bicycle Upgrades on the Giant Glory. So flip the switch on now that we have everything done. Clip the cable. Clip it just a little shorter than that. Just a hair. Now let's take a look at all these sweet upgrades we've got on the bike here. We've got the Zee shifters. We've got the Zee brakes, both front and rear. We've got the Boxer Forca added. We've got the RockShox Vivid Air RC2 on the rear, and the Zee rear derailleur, and the Shimano Derailleur cassette. Only one more thing to do to this bad boy. Well, thanks for watching me do all that fun stuff to the bike. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, eat a donut, stay rad, all that fun stuff.